Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will see what are the measuring internal attribute, which is the size, and also we will see next part to internal products. External product attribute is the external product attribute. Okay, as you know, the with this we have started with the how to actual perform the software measurement, and which are the attribute by which we can measure the software development. So in this we will see first what are the internal attributes which describe the software product in a such a way that it is dependent only on that product itself. So we'll see how that product we can define by their directly with their internal attributes. So most obviously the one of the attribute which we consider as an internal attribute, which is the size of software system, which will measure statically without having executing the system. So there are different way to measure the size of any development product. So we will see what are the different aspect of software size, which is the length, reuse, functionality. By this way we'll see the what are the aspect of software size. Then we will see the what are the modeling with the software quality and how we measure the software quality, which is a external attribute. So what is the internal attribute? Basically, internal attribute describe the software product in a such a way that it will depend only on that product only. So we can represent that product directly with the internal attribute value. So the most obvious way is to measure the attribute which is the internal attribute, which is the size of software system, which will measure statically without having to execute the system. So in this way we'll see what are the different way to measure the size of any development product. So we'll start by reviewing the current approach of size measurement, highlighting what are the pitfalls with the traditional method, and then we'll identify what are the different aspect of software size. Like the first aspect, so what are the important aspect of the size? The first is namely is length, which will measure the physical size. Second aspect of software second aspect of size is functionality, which is measured in terms of what the user actually gets. Then another aspect of size is what complexity is of underlying the problem that the software is solving, and another is what the reuse, which represents the extent to which the software is genuinely new. So these are the expressed terms in which we can represent the aspect of size. So each of these attribute I can describe the range of appropriate measurement is used. So what are the aspect of software size? Each product of software development is a physical entity, as it can be described in terms of its size. Since other physical objects are easily measurable by length, volume, mass, or other standard measure, but measuring the size of software product should be a straightforward, relatively simple, and consistent with the measurement theory principle. However, in the practice, the size measurement present a great difficulty because the notions such as effort, functionality, complexity, redundancy, and reuse are bound up in the measure people select the way for measuring the size. So a simple measure of the size often neglected because they do not adequately reflected, because the size cannot be used to measure for effort, because it fails to take a measurement of effort in case of redundancy and complexity. It even the sizes fails to measure for productivity. It fails to take the account for true functionality and the effort. Even it is fails to measure the cost in case of complexity and the reuse. So in short, we have a measurement. If a direct measurement like human size, we can measure directly with the height and weight. So we want such a direct measurement, just like a human size measure. We also want to measure the software size, which should be a simple and straightforward method. So the software size it generally is measured. So if you have to measure this, want to define a set of attribute of for software size, which is analogous to the human height and weight. So what is our aim? We have to measure the software size, which is a straightforward measurement, just like human size measure in terms of height and weight. So this we want a fundamental, so that we will capture each attribute which is aspect of software size. So basically the software size can be described by the three attribute: length. First is the length, second is the functionality, and third is the complexity. The length is actually a physical size of product, where the functionality is measured the functionality supplied by the product to the user, and the complexity can be interpreted in a different way depending upon the perspective in which we are measuring the complexity. So these are the three attributes by which we can measure the software size. So we will see one by one. So the first is what? Length. A length. So first is the length. A length is the size of product. Basically it is used a measure, but a complexity, when we use the complexity, it is a way in which the perspective is different. So there are different types of complexity that we can consider while measuring the size. The first is the problem complexity. It is also called as computational complexity by the computer scientist. It is measure the complexity of underlying problem. So whenever we measure the complexity of problem, that we call as problem complexity. Then we have second perspective of complexity is algorithmic complexity, which reflect the complexity of algorithm implemented to solve the problem. It also measure the efficiency of the software. Third is the structural complexity, which measure the structure of software used to implement the algorithm, because we are using the different flow for the flow structure for the implementation. So that flow will also decide the structural complexity. And the one more complexity is the conjective complexity, which measure the effort required to understand the software. So these are the different interpretation by which we can measure the complexity. So basically, the very important point, the software size is actually can describe by the three attribute, which will length, functionality, and complexity. So if you want to understand the details of how the complexity measure, we will in the subsequent unit we will discuss how we measure the complexity. So we start with the first aspect of size is what? Length. A length. So there are three development products whose size should be measurable to know. Okay, so that measurable development products are code, specification, and design. Specification, design, and code. So see here, what is our expectation? That we have development phase which we are having the specification, design, and code. And what is our aim? We want to measure a length of this development, that is a length of specification, length of design, and length of code. So measuring the length of specification can be useful indicator of how long the design is likely to be, because once we measure the length of specification, it will useful for the indicator for that how long the design is going on. Okay, that the length of design which is turned in specific is a predictor for the code length. So similarly, length of early product may indicate the amount of effort needed for the production for the latter ones. So that's why our aim is that we must know the length at early phase. That is the length of specification, length of design, and length of code. So if you consider the code, the most commonly used to measure the source code of program length is a number of lines of code, that is LOC. So straightforward method if you want to measure the length of source code is nothing but number of lines, that is LOC. But some lines of codes are different from other. For example, many programmers using spacing and blank lines to make their program easier to read. So if the lines of codes are being used to estimate the programming effort, then the blank line does not contribute the same amount of effort as the line implementing a difficult algorithm. So suppose there are many programming language, we will use the space and the blank lines for the program readability, more readability. So if we consider the lines of source code, if I consider LOC is the measure for measuring the effort taken by the developer team, then the effort which taken to introduce the blank line as spec, which not a same as a effort which you have taken for writing the algorithmic step. So that's why this LOC having the different aspect. Similarly, in the programming, we also use the comment. So comment line improve the program understandability, and certain requires so obviously it requires some effort to write it the comment, but they may not be required that much effort whatever the code is required. So that's why many different scheme has been proposed for counting the line, each defined with the particular purpose in the mind. So there are many ways to calculate the lines of codes of given program, because here there are different lines are available in the code, like the programming line is there, then we have some comment lines, blank lines are there. So because of this, there are many proposed system by which we can measure the number of lines. Okay, So without a careful model of program, coupled with clear definitions of lines of code, so we have to consider how to count that particular lines of code. So in particular, while measuring, the simple straightforward method is that you have to count the lines of LOC, which is the programming length. Okay, so while measuring the lines of code, we have to consider the very important point: what are the how many blank lines are there? What are the comment lines are there? What are the lines for data declaration? A lines that contains several separate instructions. So that you have to consider while measuring the LOC. That is very important part. So one of the researcher, Hewlett Packard, has defined the definition of LOC and which is mostly widely accepted. So according to that researcher, the fact is that the lines of code according to definition is actually non-commentable line. So according to definition, the LOC is as non-commented source of line. So that is any statement in the program except the comments and backline. That is a definition that defines the LOC. So according to definition, non-commentable line, that is NLOC, is also called as effective lines of code. So because once you measure the lines of source code, we can measure how many pages are required, like how many pages of the codes are there. So NCLOC is not a valid measure because non-commentable lines of codes is not a valid measurement of total program length. So it measures the uncommented length. So uncommented length is a reasonable and useful attribute to measure, but only when it addresses the appropriate questions and goal. So if you are relating the length with effort from the point of view of productivity assessment, then uncommented length may be a valid input. But even there is a room of doubt that uncommented length carries with the impactful assumption that comment do not estimate the real programming. So it should be considered. So it should not be considered in some cases also. So the model associated with the definition view of the program as simple file listing with comments and bank lines is removed. So according to that, program length is the important in deciding how much computer storage is required for the source code and how many pages are required for the printout. So obviously the once you know the lines of your code, it will help for the programmer like how much storage is required, and also in case of printing you will get the how many pages are required for printout. So that's why the total length LOC is equals to, it is a sum of NCLOC plus CLOC. What is NCLOC is the non-commentable lines of code and plus commentable lines of code is CLOC. So that according to Hewlett Packard definition of LOC is equals to NCLOC plus CLOC is the total length. That could be a measure, that would be a total length of your program. And some useful indicator to measure, like we can also measure this ratio, which is a CLOC divided by LOC, which measure the density of comments in your program, which give the indication of extents of which self document how many comments are present in your program. So that ratio is also helpful. So as a single measure of program length, LOC may be preferable to NCLOC, and it is certainly easier to measure automatically. Okay. So that's why this is one of the measure of LOC. So this is one a program in which that program having some lines along with the declaration, some comments are there. So along with these, what are the measurement we have used? So what are the counts which have measured in terms of LOC? The first count which you got a 30, which represent the number of physical lines, including blank lines. So how many physical lines present in your program? That is a 30. So total lines of code, that is one measurement. Second measurement of LOC is 24, which count the all line except the blank lines and comment. So we have removed the blank, we have just counting except the blank lines and comment. That is another measurement of LOC is 24. So in the same program we have 20 is another measurement is 20 for LOC, which count all the statement except the comment. So we have just removed that commented and we have counted that it is a 20. So then we also got LOC 70, which count the all line except blank lines, comment, declaration, heading. So all if I remove the declaration, heading and blank lines, remaining lines are 17. Then one of the LOC measure is 30, which count all the statement except the blank lines, comment, declaration and the heading. Okay, and the last is the 6, which count of only executable statement which not include any exception condition. So likewise we can have a different aspect of LOC. So this is LOC depends upon what is the perspective you have taken for measurement of that LOC. Okay, so as per your LOC you can use these are the measurement you can consider, and this LOC will helps to measure the actual length of your program. So as per the who is measuring the LOC, that will decide the measurement. So these are the different measurement aspect which we can measure for LOC. Now second, we want the length for specification and design. As our aim of length, if you want to measure the length as the aspect of software size, then we need to measure the code length, and also we want to measure the length of specification and design. So in the previous part, we have seen how to measure the code length by using the LOC parameter. Okay, now second, how to measure the length of specification and design. Okay, so appearing the early in the life cycle, the specification design document usually combine text, graph, special mathematical diagram and symbol. As you are aware, the specification and the design document consist of most of the text, graph, special mathematical diagram and the symbols are present. So nature of this presentation depends upon the particular style, methods or notation is used. So when we measure the code size, it's customary to identify the atomic object to count. That may be a lines of code or executable statement or source instruction, character, object or method. So while measuring the code, we have measured the atomic object, and that object we have to count it. Okay, that style we have follow for measuring the code. However, the specification of design can consist of both the text and diagram, suggested to at least two type of atomic object in the measurement with respect to a length. So when we compare it, so when we measure the document which is a consist of atomic object, so that both text and diagram as a composed of sequential document. Okay, so thus we measure the documentation in terms of considering the atomic object. So there are several ways to handle the well-known method, like atomic object may be changes as per we measure. If I go with the different diagram, so when we consider a diagram, we have the atomic object is different. So might be in some cases it is a bubble nodes, maybe data flow, might be a particular indication. But according to DMacro structure analysis of system specification, we have measured this different atomic component. So at the specification phase, there are 3 system views leading with the 4 types of diagram and 6 atomic objects. So according to structure analysis component, there are actually 4 diagram and which are the 6 atomic object which will measure as a count, which measure as a length. So this is a table which represent what are the views, what are the diagram, and what are the atomic object. So these are the diagram at the functional, data and state diagram. So these are the diagram: data flow diagram, data dictionary, entity relationship and state transition diagram. So in the data flow diagram, the atomic object which will be measured as a bubble. So in the data dictionary, we will use a data element as an atomic object, and in entity relationship diagram we measure the object and relation, and in the state transition diagram we measure states and transition. Okay, so these are the these diagram represent, these are the atomic object. So while measuring the length for your specific design, we have to measure this separate atomic object by the diagram, and that count will decide the length of that specification and design. Then third, we want to predicting the length, because here once I know the size of your specification design, based on that we can predict the length also. So we can use the size of design to predict the size of resulting code also. So what is our aim? If I measure size of specification, ultimately I can measure the size of design. And if I measure the specification and the design part as a counting the atomic object, that size measurement also helps to measure the predicting size of what is the predicting length of code. Okay, so the Halstead suggested that the LOC, that is if you want to predict the length, they have described one. So because in early phase we want the life cycle, what is a predicted code is required depends upon that. So the Halstead has defined the length is predicted by a ratio which is called as expansion ratio, which will predict the length of code for by which we can predict the size of code. So design to the code expansion ratio is measured by alpha, which is the size of design divided by size of code. Okay, so this expansion ratio which helps to size of the design to predict the size of resulting code. And based on that, at module design phase, the length may be expressed by using the formula LOC is equals to alpha into sum of I to M Si, where alpha you have to first calculate the which is the expansion ratio and which helps to find out the LOC. Then LOC is equals to alpha into sum of I is equals to 1 to M Si, where Si is the size of module, which measure terms as a how many component design notations are available in that module. So that will decide the size of that, that is a Si. Then M is indicates how many modules are represented in your product, and alpha represents the design to code expansion ratio, which is recorded on the previous object using the same design and the code convention. So whenever this product is developed before, based on that size of design, size of code, we have to find the alpha, and that alpha and how many components you identify in the particular modules, that size will helps to find out the LOC of predicted code. Okay, so these are the way. So this is the first attribute by which we can measure the size, that is the length, where we have discussed how to measure the length of code, which is LOC, and according to definition total length is the NCLOC and CLOC. Then we have seen how to measure the length of specification and design, and based on that length how we use the predicting that length. Okay, so that is about this lecture.